So a couple of weeks ago, I was just minding my business one night after a long day of doing absolutely nothing, and I just so happened to end up on Crunchyroll looking at the brand new animes coming out for the summer. Now the anime that caught my eye first was To Be Hero X, but since it was relatively new, that posed a problem because everything was still in sub. The dub episodes weren't coming out for the next couple of weeks. And I hate sub anime. You'll never catch me watching no sub anime a day in your life. But Kari, aren't all animes technically sub? And shut your ass up. But in all seriousness, I've never willingly watched the sub anime episode, and I wasn't about to start now. So I waited. This is our main character Lin Ling, and he is working on a brand new ad campaign for the superhero Nice. Yes, N-I-C-E. Nice. But anyways, Lin Ling gets fired because his boss doesn't like it. Now, getting fired probably sucks. I wouldn't know. I've never had a job, so. But regardless, something I've learned over the years of my life is that you can't just give up after being set back one time. Life may suck sometimes. Life's not supposed to be easy, you know? But you can't give up because of one minor setback, or maybe two, or maybe three. You gotta keep pushing. But not Lin Ling. He said fuck that. He's about to throw himself off a building. Yeah bro, I promise, no job is worth throwing yourself off a building for. There are like a million things you could do besides doing this. While Lin Ling is getting ready to throw himself off the building, Nice just flies down from the sky. And to be honest, this was probably the most unexpected part of this entire series. I was thinking Nice was gonna come down and save him or something, talk him out of it. Hell, to be honest, I would be expecting a Homelander situation rather than what actually happened, because this man Nice walks up to the ledge and walks right past Lin Ling and just throws himself off the side of the building. Then this nigga gonna hit the pose like he didn't do what he just did. Just why? I cannot possibly imagine the pain and despair this man was in to just walk right past somebody without a word and just throw themselves over a building while they can fly. Now, since Lin Ling was the only person to witness this, they immediately suspect him, and it's just by pure coincidence that if they dye his hair white, he looks exactly like Nice. So now he has to be the new Nice in replacement to the original Nice. This has got to be at least top 10 craziest plots in anime history. You can't tell me otherwise, because what the hell is this plot? Who even thought of this? Like, what type of genius walked into the studio and said, hey guys, I got a crazy idea? Now, since Lin Ling is Nice, he has to go on this game show ran by this super hating ass nigga. Like, I don't know what this nigga's problem is, but he just wants to expose Nice for some reason. I don't know what it is. This nigga's just a super tremendous hater, bro. Now, since Nice and Moon are supposed to be dating, this dude's asking a bunch of impossible questions that no normal person would know. But since Lin Ling was obsessed with Moon, he can answer all these questions damn near perfectly. On this is a supreme outrage. He cannot let this go on any further. He cannot let any more travesties go on, yeah? So instead of taking his L like a normal nigga, he brings out a super villain, which is actually Lin Ling's boss from earlier. Like, what could have possibly been the logic behind this, bro? And while Mr. Nosy Pants is over here monologuing, old boy in the back says that's enough of that and smacks him upside the head. Like, bro, niggas just be so trash. How you get smacked by your own goon, twin? Now, naturally, they start boxing. And to be honest, I don't think I want to call this a fight. I feel like this was more of a power scaling match, just so we could see how strong Lin Ling really is. Because for a majority of the fight, Lin Ling was really fucking this nigga up. He was over here doing ballerina twirls and shit. Yes, you heard me right. Ballerina twirls. This nigga was dancing in the middle of the fight. Let me be fighting another grown-ass man and he pull out ballerina twirls. One of us is leaving in a casket, and I promise you it's not gonna be me. Well, shit, as a matter of fact, if niggas pulling out ballerina spins, they might know the method. What if there's a secret martial arts style involving ballerina spins I've never heard about, huh? What about that? But anyways, dude rushes in like an idiot and Lin Ling hits him with a judo chop. Laid his old ass out flat. But unfortunately, all bosses have a second stage, so he gets right back up and he gets a super power boost, because that's how all bosses work, right? I'm talking about you, Elden Ring. Then now let me catch your developers. I'm gonna show them niggas something special. Lin Ling kicks dude so hard that every single kick that lands sounds like a gunshot, and he didn't even flinch. Fuck you mean this nigga ain't flinch? Yeah bro, I'm just going to take myself out. He sees the first kick didn't work, so he kicks him again and it still doesn't do anything. Yeah, I'm just go ahead and double take myself out. Now, as usual, after getting his ass beat, the main character gets a bunch of flashbacks and he gets a bunch of brand new power boosts and shit, and he beats the villain. Y'all know how it is. So earlier, y'all remember when I said that Nice and Moon were dating? So it turns out that Nice and Moon weren't dating, and they actually didn't like each other in the slightest. Like, Moon just disliked this nigga Nice in general, and it's the fact that she automatically knew that Lin Ling wasn't even the real Nice, and the only reason she knew that is because Nice never even bothered to talk to her. So now these two have to get married, and Lin Ling doesn't have a problem with that, but Moon doesn't want that for herself. She wants to get out of there, which is extremely reasonable, but their employers, they don't do that reasoning shit. So now these two are stuck in the same building together until Moon agrees to get married to Nice. Quick little side note, but Moon probably got the worst powers I done ever seen in general, bro. Now Moon can teleport around and shit, but she can only teleport right next to Nice. Like, that's just a horrific ability. Who would want that? That's like having the Death Note, but it only works on Tuesdays and it only works if you put your name in it. It's literally just pointless. Now these two are stuck here for an entire month before Lin Ling comes up with the idea to fake Moon's death. That's the plan that they go with. They set up the wedding and everything, get a bunch of cameras around so everybody can witness Moon's death. I'm currently doing the things on my fingers. If I feel like turning on my webcam, y'all will see it. But this guy right here is supposed to be Nice's nemesis, and he's immediately supposed to go for Moon, but he doesn't do that. He jumps right over Moon and immediately goes for Nice. When I first watched this, I was thinking, damn, this nigga really must hate Nice. He really must want this dude dead. For what other possible reason could this nigga have jumped over Moon, the woman he was specifically ordered to kill, just to go for Nice? But that's when it clicks. A second theory that nobody had ever thought of before. What if Nice was down low? Hold on, wait a second, just hear me out, hold on, wait. The way old boy was talking about some, you're not my Nice, how could I possibly think that these two niggas weren't doing something on the low, bro? Be real with me. But in all seriousness, this dude and Nice were best friends from childhood, and the only reason he's playing the nemesis is because it benefits Nice. Now, the original plan was for Moon to fake her death, but this nigga's like full on about to like for real kill her. So Lin Ling has no choice but to tell him that his best friend killed herself, and obviously like a normal person, he doesn't take that very well. I'm not sure what I was expecting. I was kind of expecting him to, you know, like chill out a little bit, because it's not our fault that his best friend killed himself. But no, he just starts going crazy. And I can't say I blame him. What you mean my best friend died and you replaced him with this random ass dude? Something different about this anime that I actually enjoy is that the animation style will change from a lower effort animation style to a higher effort animation style. Usually whenever they switch animation styles like that, it will be a shitty CGI version. So anyways, Nice and Moon start jumping him, and somehow he is holding his own against basically a Superman and a person that can teleport around. Say what you will, this nigga might be a little weird, but hey, this nigga got hands though. But there's only so much you can do when it's a 2-on-1 and he ends up getting clobbered by Nice. And boom, fight's over. Moon fakes her death and she decides to go very far away where nobody can find her. But that doesn't even last very long, because at the end of episode 3, which I will not be going over because it doesn't hold any importance, Moon gets captured by the super duper hating ass nigga. And this nigga is going to continue exposing Lin Ling unless he comes to get Moon himself. Now, since old boy is currently exposing Lin Ling, he is losing his powers as they speak. It's kind of like a Rise of the Guardian situation. The less people trust you, the less power you have. And the more people that trust you, the more power you have. Now, since Lin Ling can't fight right now, they have to send somebody else to go and fight old dude. They send this boxer to go and deal with him, and that's exactly what he starts doing. He is low-key frying this dude. But unfortunately, this nigga is such a scheming slimeball, he doesn't even fight with his fists. He digs up some dirt from back when old dude was a nobody, and he used to put metal plates in his boxing gloves. So now the people are losing trust in him, and that basically makes him a regular ass nigga. So he gets absolutely fried because there's not shit a regular man can do. And now Lin Ling decides that he has to go deal with this since it's his problem. And that's when I realized, powers or not, Lin Ling still gonna get with a nigga for his girl. But the question is, will he win? Not at the start. Lin Ling was really getting done bad. And it makes sense. It's a nigga with superpowers against a regular ass nigga. You can't really expect too much out of him. But regardless of him not having no powers, regardless of him getting his ass beat for 90% of the fight, regardless of the fact that he wasn't going to win, he still never gave up. And just when it was looking grim, just when everything seemed lost, this entire fight was being streamed on every single screen you could see. People were watching Lin Ling fight until his last breath for his girl. And then niggas started trusting him. And you know how it works in this show. Trust is power. Even after being half conscious, Lin Ling is still fighting. Look at the way he's moving. He over here moving like Rock Lee. That drunk ass kick. And then Lin Ling charges up the craziest right hook in history. You know, whenever I see super colorful scenes like this, where everything's all bright and the main character gets a crazy power boost, I always think of my hero. I don't know why. But yeah, anyways, Lin Ling won. Alrighty, that's the end of this week's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, you know. Recording this week actually wasn't that bad. Usually whenever I record a video, I'll like actually lose my mind a couple times. But you know, this week wasn't that bad. It was pretty chill. So yeah, we're pretty close to 9K. By the time this goes up, we might be at 9K or a little bit over 9K. So yeah, just hit the like button, subscribe, and I just hit my mic. I love you. Have a fantastic week. I'll see y'all next Monday. Mwah.
mine. I'll make you all of mine. Lips up, down, lips up.